Hello and welcome to my game collection part 3. This time, the Nintendo GameCube. This is actually my second GameCube. Right on start, I bought the first purple one. I pre-ordered it and was very happy, but I was young, I was a bit stupid, as it is if you're younger. And well, that thing stopped working at some point because of my own fault. And I wanted to still play my games and wanted a second GameCube, so I bought a second one. And Nintendo's GameCube was the success Nintendo hoped, and also what I hoped, because to this day I really love this console. It's a big part of my childhood, and now and then I play some stuff. What you can see in the background is actually a GameCube game. It's Phantasy Star Online Part 1 and 2 for GameCube, and the console is a bit scratching, so you might hear some noises in the background. GameCube games were later on playable on Wii, so that's why that's in the background. It's actually a disc which is in the Wii at the moment, so that I can show that off. So no magic tricks involved. Comes with a handle. This is a pearlescent white version. As I said, I wanted a second GameCube. The first one cost me around about 250 euros at launch, and later on with game I bought this one here for like 99 with Mario Smash Football or Soccer, or what is it in English. I'm not a big sports guy. I don't like soccer. So yeah, I don't have that game anymore, but that has different reasons. That game for a soccer game was very fun. It was basically like Mario Kart, but with a ball. You had items and everything. And as I know, for Switch, there's Mario Strikers out now, since half a year or so. So yeah, there will be an option for me to try that again. Also, this thing has an adapter here. That's not standard. I bought that later on because that's for online gameplay. If you wanted to play this, like with the console online, there's like a small amount of games. I think Phantasy Star is one of them, maybe 2 or 3 more. All consoles of Nintendo, to be fair, had this. In Japan, they all had like this extra slot here on the bottom. The NES, the Super NES, the N64 had this way to attach this and be online, but it never came over to Europe, I think. This was the first one who got this. This time opens up the game discs, and no cartridges anymore. To be fair, not a big fan of discs when it comes to consoles because of the scratching, for example, in the background. If you hear that, I hope you don't. But as I said, I love the console. I'm a big fan of physical media, so I buy, if I can, my games like physical. I have a big Steam library, but yeah, if there's a sale, with most hits of the time, and I'm a subscriber to the Humble Bundle, yeah, my pile of shame is growing each month. This is the controller, and I love the Switch Pro controller, which is this one. But back in the day when this came out, this thing just feels right. The A button is the most used one. It's green. It's like, yes, you want to do something. No, red. B, you don't want to abort something. Additional buttons here. Z button. This feels like, it's like, I know there's a PC version for this which works with Switch, works with wireless, like Bluetooth with the computer. I tried to get one of these and see if they're as good. C button, if you have bigger hands, not the best, and same for the cross here. Could be better, but overall a really good way of playing games. The controller is like, I really love that thing. Also, like with the Super Nintendo, for controller support by standard, and I think I attached that actually to the Wii because they wanted so. The console, like, this needs a memory card. Because... memory card. No cartridges, so saving, if you want to do that, needs to slot in here, or here's a second port for memory cards. Yeah, but that's enough about the console itself. Let's go on to the games, because that's why you're here, I think. As I said, Phantasy Star Online Episode 1 and 2. One of my all-time favorites when it comes to RPGs. It looks very basic, but when you go deeper into the game for the time, there's so much hidden stuff which you don't notice, and there's a big fandom about the Phantasy Star like line, I think. I played, sorry for the wording, the shit out of this game. I played like around about 7,500 hours. No joke, over the years. This measures your time, how long you played, and for each character, everything combined. I deleted one character, which I restarted, and around about 7,500 hours. As I was younger, I had way more time than now, and so I played a lot of this. It's a JRPG. You have to be really into grinding with levels and items. So this is the game for you. Episode 1 and 2 is basically one story ends and you go to a different place on the ship, which this place on is a fantasy sci-fi thing, and you play another story. You unlock areas and you can visit, revisit, grind, find items and stuff, and this is a really, really awesome game. Even nowadays I would recommend it, but you have to be good with like the graphic style and everything, like with retro stuff it is. And let's move on to the next installment to Phantasy Star Online, which is the part 3 of that. I played this, but not as much as part 1 and 2, because this is actually a card game. You have a grid where you have either be the goodies or the baddies. The good guys have weapons, which you can summon. You have like ability points to summon armor, weapons, use magic spells and stuff. And the baddies have also some weapons, but they go with monsters as well, so you can summon them and play against NPCs or against friends or with friends. Really fun, different approach on this. The story is pretty nice. I played through this, but the first 2 installments are better in my opinion. So let's see where I have this. This wouldn't be a showing of my game collection without the Power Rangers game. I got this years back as an adult, like 10 years back or so. I didn't know this existed for GameCube at the time. If I had known, I would bought it earlier. Most of the time, besides the Super Nintendo games, the games in the past I played Power Rangers wise were not so good. Even predecessors are not like This is a different approach. You have kind of an open world, like an hub area, and you actually you don't play the Rangers, you play the Zords. And I never played through this because at some point it was too hard for me. I didn't get this. You have like the T-Rex, the Triceratops, and the Pterodactyl. You get some basic tutorial missions where you get this is the controls and everything, and you roam around, play some missions, which is nice, collect stuff. Easy explained for kids, and it's fun. But as I move to the real first, here's the Megazord mission, we have to combine the Zords. I tried multiple times. I lost so many times. I just couldn't be bothered anymore, as the Brits would say. But in the end, it's an awesome game. It was fun, but as I said, I just didn't have the nerves anymore. My GameCube game collection was bigger. Was with language 3, 2, 1. Sorry, hiccup there. Was way bigger years back. I said that in some videos. I think in the N64 one or so. I didn't have a job years back. I needed money to pay bills. So I sold games that I had for computer, for GameCube, for Wii. I even sold my Wii U, which I know the console is not liked by many, but I had fun with it and I highly regret doing this. So now I luckily had an Excel sheet with the games I had, so I now rebuy now and then for a reasonable price the stuff I sold. Won't be everything, because some games are like, yeah, that's not really worth getting it back, I think, especially for the price. But this arrived 2 days ago, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. It's a very different approach on Final Fantasy. It's very story driven. I had a lot of fun with this. I never played through it, so I will revisit this game. But if you have a GameCube, try to get it. It's enjoyable, but you have to like the style, because they're like very kids, and the story is pretty, what is it in English? A bit darker. It's not on the. It's more on the emotional side. It's very serious. But still, it's a lot of fun. It has support for Game Boy Advance for some reason. For multiplayer, you can attach that and play. You don't need a game, actually. You just need the Game Boy and the cable. I have that, so you could play it with friends. As I said, I sold a lot of my games. I had around about 50 GameCube games. I think I now have like 15 or 10 left, but that will change in the future, as I said. I had some Sonic games besides Sonic DX Adventure 1 or Sonic Adventure DX, which is a remaster report from Dreamcast, I think. I kept this. I sold Sonic Adventure 2. Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, to be exact. But I have that on PC. I think that was the reason. Like, I have this on a different platform. I don't need this for the console anymore, which was dumb, because I played a lot of that and I liked it. The music, everything. I'm not into music that much, but Sonic's music was pretty good and still is. This is a story which is fun, but I think I played through it once, and that's that. Something I would never revisit. Game disc in there. Booklet, looks almost like new, because I never really, as you can see, I take good care of my stuff with the storage and everything. So yeah, this is a bit more on the not so clean side, because I bought it used, and I was very much into Pokemon, and am again. I bought a lot of Pokemon games for Switch, and I have to play through them. They're like big RPGs. If you know Pokemon, they're like good, really good. Not all of them, but most of them are really good RPG games. This is something different. This is Pokemon Channel. It's basically a Tamagotchi, if you know what that is. Like, you throw this in, you have a little story, and you play and give commands to this little guy here. Meet some friends. It's like a simulation where Pikachu is your pet, kind of, or companion. I bought this used for just one reason, because if you play through the story and you attach this, you could get this mythical Pokemon, Jirachi, you could unlock and transfer it to your Game Boy. So I bought this basically just for this. I know this is pretty rare by now, and I think this is one reason why I kept this. I don't know. Also, moving on to one of my favorite games. I don't really like horror. As I was younger, I played some horror games, but this is different. I always wish there was like a sequel or a remaster or whatever of this. This is made from Silicon Knight Studios. I think they don't exist anymore. I don't know why, or like merged, got bought off, whatever. Eternal Darkness. This is one of those games you would never expect on a Nintendo console. It's pretty dark. It has an amazing story. I highly recommend this game. If you have any chance to play this, try it. As I said, I'm not a big horror fan. It has some horror aspects. This is actually, how do I explain that without not stretching the time too long? you play multiple characters through different time periods. You start off as this guy, but not in this demonic look. Pius Augustus, a Roman who finds a relic, well, 3 to be exact, and you have to choose. Each relic bounds to a goddess, and he gets corrupted and tries to, on the year 2000, to screw over and take over the world in the name of his god. So, and then you play this little blonde beauty here, which I forgot her name. Is it on here? Yeah, Alex Roivas. She's an ancestor of the Roivas family, which the name says. All these characters here in the background, besides, I think he's also a relative. I don't know. They discover the Tome of Eternal Darkness, which says the name, and that thing is a book which you find pages. It's a bit of a puzzle. You find pages and you dive back in history and play this certain role. You relive what they lived, like in the Dark Ages, in Saudi Arabia as a Persian, and you play pieces who fit together, and in the end you fight Augustus to win. And you have a replay value because you can choose between those 3 goddesses, and if you played all 3, you unlock a 4th dead god, which you see briefly in some levels, and then play with his powers. And it's interesting to see it from different perspectives, and these goddesses cancel each other out. You have green, red, and blue mana, and one is weak to the other or strong. It's a real interesting design. Also, besides life and mana bars, which you normally have, you have a psychic bar, a green one. So this is what makes this game special. If you play and your character loses psychic, you see things. So you move to recorder, and there's a boost, or it's a bust in English, I think, of someone. And at a certain point, that thing looks at you and follows you, which is one of the harmless ones. And there's it's getting really, if this game can get it really into your head, like I mean, there are jump scares and stuff, but there are Windows blue screen arrows on the screen for a brief moment. You're like, what the fuck? And this is the mean one. I had this once or twice where I like, oh, now I have to start. The game crashed. I wanted to reset the game, and it was a joke. The bar was low, and it's showing me a GameCube error code on the screen. So if you're not patient, the game is crashed. You reset and start from the last save point. This can be mean, but it's interesting. You use a heal spell and your character dies, and like, what? It flashes at your back, and your character is like, what was that? As I said, interesting game. Really, really can recommend. This is one of the pearls of the GameCube. I think the GameCube should sold more, but Nintendo, with their policy of like, oh, we go discs now, but we make our own small, because everyone was like, oh, but you cannot play like music or DVDs on that thing because small discs. I mean, I get the idea, because if I buy a console, don't get me wrong, I want to play games. I don't need like to actually play DVDs or Blu-rays on it. It's a fine edition, but I don't really need it. I have a game console. I don't play games. And nowadays, I was at a time where like I want YouTube and Netflix and such on the Switch. I have a smart TV, so why should I bother? Yeah, I think what I said in last video is my brawler passion never really gone away. I went to a hardware store and I like checked for games. There was like nothing new out. I wanted to play a new game. This just aired. Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee. At that time, everyone was like Melee for whatever reason. Like the brawlers. Super Smash Bros. Melee, don't know. But this is basically a brawler game with monsters of the Godzilla kind of things. I bought it because I wanted to buy a game, I had extra money at the time, and there was nothing else out there. And like, okay, this is $50, okay, fine, take it. It was and still is fun. You can destroy the entire city, the buildings are crashing, and it's really enjoyable. It has a story mode, like an arcade story mode. Yeah. This is one of the bigger Nintendo franchises, Metroid. I played through Metroid game. I played Super Nintendo Metroid on Virtual Console, played through it. I love Super Metroid, but I have to play more because I wanted to do a Let's Play or something like that, but I'm not good enough at Super Metroid. I played a lot of hours with this. This is challenging and fun, and the presentation, everything is fine. It just works. This is like a really good experience, and as you can see, 96% from Big N. This is like a magazine back in the day. I don't know if they exist still, but they rated this like 96%, which is a really high rating. This is an awesome game, and it's very, very challenging as well. It's a shooter. It's a first-person shooter with rails and everything. It's basically the Zelda formula. You have to get a new item to unlock new areas, continue and progress in the story, and highly recommend this one. And of course, this as well. This is the next one. I think this got 98% or 97. I'm not sure. This is not there. There's no sticker on there. This is the second installment. This continues the story of the first Metroid game on GameCube, Metroid Prime Echoes. And the third one just got released on Wii, so we have that in the next video basically. I'm sorry for like plus 20 minutes at this point. Similar deal with this one, new suits, new areas, new enemies, new story. Good game if you have a GameCube or a Wii, because you can play that on Wii, as I said. Get it. We're almost done, so one thing I also sold and arrived yesterday, Blood Omen 2. I love the Legacy of Kain saga. I'm not good with Blood, but this is one of the few games I can play. Only downside with this one, not only on the PC and I think on every console in general, this game crashes sometimes. And I did a Let's Play on the PC version of this, and it crashed multiple times. The GameCube version does that now and then as well, but I love the story behind this. I like the characters, the level design. This is a fun game. It's a bit challenging, not too much. There's a bit blood involved. You're a vampire, so why shouldn't there be blood? But yeah, that's one of the games I can do, and I always hope for, like, after Legacy Kain of Defiance, a new one. But there was like, oh, Tomb Raider is better. Tomb Raider sells better, so they never made a new Legacy of Kain. Well, story based. There was Nothgov, which was like an PvP based arena thing, but never got hooked on that. And I think if they do one now, it would be too bloody for me. So yeah. And last but not least, Zelda: The Wind Waker. A big controversy in the Nintendo franchise or Nintendo fan base area. I think there are a lot of people who like this. I'm one of them. A lot of people who like, this is not good. As the GameCube premiered, they shown a tech demo of a new Zelda which looked realistic and dark and good, like Twilight Princess, which came after this. And yeah, well, which came out was The Wind Waker, which is a great game. I don't know if you can see that, but this has a cartoony look to it. So Link is cel-shaded cartoon, and the game is fun. The story is awesome. I like what they did with this game. I would prefer a darker one as well. This is a special edition which came out. I bought it and I will never sell it because I was very stupid selling this. This comes with an extra bonus disc with a remastered version. This one here. Of the Ocarina of Time N64 version and the Master Quest, which was exclusive to Japan, at the point in time. And here's the golden shiny. This, I don't know what they have with Zelda with like being gold, but it just fits. I had way more games, as I said, and there will be update videos when I get some new games in. I sold so many games, which I highly regret at this point in time. But I will never sell my game collection again. I find another way if I need money, or my collection in general. As I said, I highly regret doing this. And especially if you want some games nowadays, they are expensive as hell. I sold Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire box, which is not really a game. It's something where you could store your Game Boy, not your Game Boy, your Pokemon from the Game Boy game, from Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, on the memory card. Basically, I got that through Nintendo store points. When you bought a game, you got stars as points, and it cost me like 5,000 stars. And that thing, I sold it for like 30 euros, and that is like, at this point in time, this thing is super duper rare. It's worth, if last time I looked, around about 3,500 euros at this point in time. Always depends if somebody pays that much, but this is what that thing goes nowadays, which I'm like, fuck, sorry for language. I also sold my copy of Super Smash Bros. Melee for the GameCube, which is dumb. I mean, I was like, oh, I have the newer titles, why you should kept that? But as I said, I had a lot of fun with these games, and I highly regret selling them, and I will not do that again. And I can see I took way more of your time, as always. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this, and we will see us in the next one, which will be the Wii and some Wii games. So bye for now.